Round up. I am live. All right. Nah, don't like the way this thing. Let me get this thing aimed right. Just gonna have to make do with the way it is. Well, I'm just gonna sit here and look stupid while I am waiting to go live. So if anybody comes in, let's see. Shoot. Is there 6 people watching? Steve, Mike, hey, Tony, Sean, hey, long time no hear, see, whatever. Do y'all hear me? Do you hear my voice? I've got a mic plugged in. I don't know if it's working. Somebody say yay, nay, whatever. Hit the thumbs up. Not looking stupid, that's for sure. Thank you, Gail. Again, I asked, does someone hear my voice? Well, I guess you did, or else you wouldn't know I said looking stupid, would you? Sounds good. Cool. So, how is everyone doing? It is good and cold here in South Carolina for a change. It was at the 30s this morning. I'm not sure what the temperature is now. We'll find out. Hey, Alexa, what is the temperature?
Right now, it's 52 degrees Fahrenheit. Tonight, expect a low of 34 degrees.
Well, there you go. You heard the weather from Alexa. 54 degrees and expected a low of 34 tonight. Steve Mack, where are you at? I've probably asked you before, but my memory is about as good as I can throw it, and it is snowing outside Chicago. Ooh. And I know it's good and cold in Chicago. Annie Elizabeth, hey there. Oh, it's Steve Mack, west of Toronto, Canada. I would think that it would be a lot colder in Canada. Y'all see my next door neighbor dog. That's my only grandson, Toby. He's taking a nap. Yeah, he lives next door to me, and they have a 1-year-old in the house that terrorizes him, so he likes to come over and hang out with me. 71 degrees in Daytona Beach, Florida. I tell you, I normally go to Daytona for the spring and the fall bike rally, and that's some screwy weather. I've gone down there in March and like to froze to death, and I've gone in October and like to burn up. Walsh Farms, hello there. But South Carolina, we've got some really weird weather, I'll tell you. You'll be wearing shorts one day and an overcoat the next. You just don't never know. Let's read. I have to quit talking when I'm reading the chat. I don't want to miss anything. Samuel Hensley, hello there from Clemson University. All right. I was just up there week before last, I believe. A little snow on the ground, in fact. I don't know if you got a chance to look at my video of the witch's grave at the old stone church right outside of Clemson. You know, I'm always on the lookout for different stuff, and especially in South Carolina. And I happened up in on a book that I have called Weird Carolinas, had read about the grave of Eliza Huger, or Hugie, depending on where you're from, buried because she was accused of being a witch. But she was also accused of being a prostitute. So, you know how legends go. She could be one or the other or neither. And the story was that even though they didn't kick her out of the church, they just shunned her. And so, well, you can be buried there, but you just can't be in the middle of the graveyard. You're going to have to go to the far side and be buried in a wall. And there's no gate to get in the wall. But I thought that was cool. I've got all my uploads for this coming week. I know Friday is the Poinsett Bridge. I've done a video there before, but I went back because it's supposedly the oldest bridge in the eastern United States. It's really cool. I've got the video tomorrow. I don't even know what it's going to be. I've already forgotten. I try to upload my week's videos the week before, and sometimes I'm selective as to what goes out when. But my plans are, listen, I got to tell y'all something. I am excited about this. I've been planning for it for a long time. Last June, for Father's Day and my birthday combined, my wife and daughter gave me a scuba dive with the whale shark in the Atlanta aquarium. That is cool. That is like a lifetime thing. Whale shark is the size of a school bus. And so this coming Tuesday at 3:00, I've already got my ticket. It is signed in stone. So unless I'm dead or definitely ill, I am going to scuba dive with a whale shark. And I'm going to get to film it. Well, my wife's going to film it through this. So that's going to be cool. I can't wait. You can dive in the ocean and go out on scuba dives to see whale sharks, but it's a shot in the dark whether you will find one. But in the Atlanta Aquarium, you're guaranteed. And also manta rays that are got like a 10-foot wingspan. Awesome. I'll tell you, I have been trying to grow my channel. I'm working on it, and it's slow. And I compare it to some others. These channels have like exploded, and mine hadn't really exploded, but it's just moving along slow and steady. And I guess there's a lot to say for slow and steady. I will tell you this, I am enjoying it. It is fun. As my daughter keeps reminding me that it is a hobby. And you know what the difference is, a hobby and a job. You get paid for doing a job. Hobbies, you pay to do it. And it's expensive, but it's still fun. And I'm going to go as long as the good Lord will let me go. Samuel Hensley, you watched my video on the Nuri meal, and you went there Friday night. That's pretty cool. That Nuri meal, is that the one in Seneca? And the reason I'm asking is in the last month, I have probably filmed about 5 different meals, and I get the names confused. And if it is the one in Seneca, surely you didn't go in there at night because that thing's supposed to be haunted. Yes, okay. I remember. Like I say, that thing's supposed to be haunted. At midnight, are you nuts or what? Good gracious. Well, I promise you one thing. You don't have to worry about Carolina Tony going to no haunted places or graveyards at night. Now, I know ghosts, they float about during the day too, but I want to be able to see where I'm running. I tell you what I am on the lookout for, and maybe some of y'all that's watching with me can steer me in the right direction. I am looking for fallout shelters. If any of y'all remember what a fallout shelter is during the Cold War, which would have been, 50s, early 60s, when America was at a threat of, or feared of being bombed by the Cuba or Russia or whatever. A lot of folks built fallout shelters. And I've got some footage of different places that relates to fallout shelters, but I'm looking for more so I can put together a good, informative story. You're Samuel Hensley. You read your Bible beforehand. I'd have took it with me too. Along with a cross, some holy water, and a wooden stake. Oh, and silver bullets just in case. I love exploring old mills, and there's a lot of them. Of course, last Wednesday maybe, I did one in Jamestown, North Carolina, and I'd love to have been able to go in there. You forgot a rabbit's foot and a 4-leaf coat. I would not forget some garlic. But yeah, in Jamestown, North Carolina, I found an old mill, and I wasn't able to get into town and into the mill. It was all locked up, and I didn't want to take a chance. As you heard me say before, I am not going to jail for video. But the thing that I found so fascinating about it was most of the houses in the mill village were all abandoned. There were just a few families that were still living there. Yeah, but listen, I said I was looking for fallout shelters. Find some of those. We'll be going to Atlanta. For some of y'all that want to know a little bit about me, I tell you, I am a heating and air conditioning contractor. I have been in the business for 44 years. I've owned my own business for, maybe 25. And this time of year is really slow. So I take advantage of the being slow to try to get out and do some traveling. And I've got somebody that works for me that's real dependable also. So when I go out and, as my wife says, goofing off, I can still keep the fort manned. I tell you, we have got some major rain here in the last several days. It's been real sunny today, so that's a good thing. But our river here in town has run out of the banks and had some flooding. I don't think there's done any damage or anything. or they're making it inconvenient for some folks. How bad the flood? Like I said, the river's run out of its banks. It's been up that high before. Most of the folks that live close to the river, I don't think they're close enough for it to do, any major damage, other than perhaps farmers that's got some land there. Do I do commercial or I do residential heating and air conditioning, and I've got some commercial customers, but no industrial. Just when I say commercials, I'm talking about like convenience stores, places like that. Salmon Hazel, where you from, Tony? I am living in Charlotte, South Carolina, which is in the where is it in the state? Let's see. Let's see if I can bring it up, and I'll show you. And don't you just love a tablet? Charlotte, South Carolina.
According to Wikipedia.
Okay, here we go. Watch. You're going to love this. This is technology. As soon as it loads, this is technology. Here we go. There's the town. Come on, baby. Load up here. My cousin owns a heating air conditioning in Toronto. Mostly does commercial. Yeah, I would imagine in Toronto he would stay hopping. Okay, here we go. Here's South Carolina, and there's Charlotte, which we are about 2 hours from Charlotte, about an hour from Fayetteville, North Carolina, about an hour from Florence, about an hour and a half from Columbia, and about 2 hours from Myrtle Beach.
Your sexy wife is calling.
Uh-oh.
Your sexy wife is calling.
Y'all didn't hear that? Hello? Yes. Okay, well, look, I'll talk to you later. Bye. How's that for taking care of business? My wife didn't come home after church. We drive to church separately because I go before she does. And she went home, so I called looking for her. She made some side trips. Okay, let's see. Get back to the stream. I don't want to ignore any of y'all. Got that one and saw a video of the camping area that y'all stay at in Pigeon Forge, and it was underwater. Yeah, I saw that too. Yeah. Do y'all like that? Your sexy wife is calling. It's embarrassing when it goes off and you're somewhere, in public. As a beast ringtone, yeah. Are there any other abandoned places near Clemson that you recommend? Of course, you know about Walhalla at the Stump House Tunnel, which is pretty cool. And that's pretty neat. And also, I tell you, Walhalla is a little spot in South Carolina. I mean, a little tiny town, but there are like 3 different museums there. And one of the things that I liked is there is a wooden Cherokee Indian ceremonial drum that is 300 years old. And it's sitting there in the museum, and you can walk over and thump on it, and they don't care. I took my granddaughter, she's 7, or she'll be 8 in May, and we went in and she started playing, and I said, Layton. And the lady said, that's okay, she can play it. I said, God, it's 300 years old. I guess, they don't make things now like they used to, huh? There's an abandoned mill in Anderson. I'm not even sure what the name of it is, but it's right downtown. And it's got kudzu that's grown all over it. And I think there is an abandoned roller mill in Pendleton. It's about to fall down. MSL login. How's everybody doing? Hey, good to see you here. Thank you for stopping by. I get a little slow when I'm reading the chat. What are you planning on doing when you go to land? Of course, I said I'm gonna swim or dive with a whale shark, and I haven't come up with anything else that I haven't done. I'd like, I've been to the World Coke. I've been to the museum. I have not been to the new cyclorama. I've been to the old one. I wouldn't mind going by there. There's a really cool museum there. There is a museum there, so I may try to go by there. I went once before and they were closed, so hopefully I can catch them open. I found out there is a museum of puppetry there that has some of the Jim Henson's puppets there, so I wouldn't mind going and checking that out. If anybody's got any ideas that something that would make a good video, let me know. There is so much to do in Atlanta, and it's hard to remember where everything is. And the thing about it, there's a lot of stuff that would be interesting and people would find interesting, but nobody knows about it, I started today watching a program. I'm live streaming. I started today watching a program on Spectrum TV called Manhunt. It is about Richard Jewell, which he was accused of planting a bomb in downtown Atlanta during the 1996 Olympics. Have I been to Crybaby Bridge? Well, I did a video not long ago on Crybaby Bridge in Anderson, and it was cool. Actually, I took my granddaughter with me and let her hold a camera and do some filming. But I started watching that. It's a series on Richard Jewell. And of course, we know now, but later they found out it was Eric Rudolph that planted the bomb. And I would love to try to do a video on him. That would involve some traveling and probably some time, because if I can maybe film a little bit about where that was. And then also Murphy, North Carolina. I've been there, but I didn't know until after I went that he was caught digging in the trash behind a grocery store there. No, I hadn't seen the new Richard Jewell movie. In fact, I had a little, when you turn on, we subscribe to the Spectrum, but it's on like one TV, and then all the other TVs in the house we stream through. And so when I turn my TV on, different shows will pop up that's available. And Manhunt is a whole series about that. So I'm looking to get find out a little more about it. But yeah, I need to see that. And just from watching that first series about a Manhunt where it's talking about Richard Jewell, I just found it so amusing that the FBI and the ATF were like opposite sides. It's like the FBI got there, the ATF was already there, and they didn't want anybody stealing their thunder, and the other didn't want them stealing their thunder. And they said, we're in charge. And they said, no, we're in charge. And I'm thinking, they're all inside the same government. They can't get along. But wait a minute. That was in the 90s. And crap is still going on, isn't it? Hey, just do your job. And they were quick to accuse Richard Jewell. On the very on the his spoiler alert, but I thought pretty cool. So I've only watched the first episode. On the very last few words, it shows the FBI guy sitting in his car, and he finds out some information about Richard Jewell, and he says, "We've got you now." Classic. MS Logan, I'm in South Carolina, MSL. Whoa. Western North Carolina. That blew my mind. You're in South Carolina and Western North Carolina. I'll figure that out. MSL login. You are in North Carolina. I got it now. You're in North Carolina, Western North Carolina. I got it. So, what else is going on? I've been on for 26 minutes. I'm going to wrap it up in about 4.5 minutes and let everybody else get on with their Sunday. Y'all, you do me a big favor, though, if you tell your family and friends about my channel. I mean, you've heard me say this before, and you know what they say here in the South? It is a poor rooster that won't praise his own barnyard. Tell your family and friends. And there might not be something on here for you today, but sometime there's going to be something for you all the time. Gerald Farmer's Meetup, I've talked to Jackie. He's told me about it. I am going to try. March is a very, very busy time as far as my business goes, but it's not that far away, so I may be able to handle it. But I would be sure to tell your family and friends. Any ideas for any videos, y'all shoot them my way. I love comments. I'm always open to anything. I like the same stuff that y'all like. I've got a video. Steve Mack, are you still riding your bike this time of year? I rode one day this past week when it got up to like 72. I had to go pick some air conditioning parts, heat parts up. So I rode to Florence to pick them up. Sean Cody, y'all have a good afternoon. You have a good afternoon too. Lula, Georgia. No, I haven't, and I don't even know anything about Lula, Georgia. Fill me in. Something that I don't do very well with, and I know Georgia is eat up with it, is filming locations. These guys that go out and do filming locations where TV shows and movies been shot, it just blows my mind how they have all the information. And I think, oh, it's going to be a Jackie. Cross interviewing each other, going to be a. Yeah, that should be good. That's something that I like, is to talking to other creators and getting little ideas and all. I don't know if any of y'all have noticed here in the recent past how my YouTube intros have changed a little bit. I've got access to some new technology, and so I'm doing some experimenting, and I like them. I don't know if anybody else does. My blockbuster intros. It's Lula is north of Atlanta. So what's in Lula? Anything I would be interested in? Something I should go see? Tell me. Driving down from Toronto, Canada. Steve Mack, you're coming all the way from Toronto. Wow. You've been here before, aren't you? Aren't you the one that went and visited Jackie not too long ago? Jeremy Wood, you have a great day too. Time Chaser, so good to hear you. Thank you for stopping. Let's see, not this coming Friday, but the next Friday, the wife and I are flying to Miami. Get some good videos out of that. I love the station identification part on. Yeah, you know, when you were raised in the 50s and 60s, some things just kind of stick with you. Yeah, you drove to see Jack. Yeah, I remember him telling me about that. 980 miles. That's a long haul. Awesomeness. Of course, listen, driving 980 miles to do something you want to do, that's not bad. Remember, I rode on my motorcycle 12 hours. From here to Miami, Florida is 12 hours. And I rode all the way to Miami to eat chicken and then turn around and came back. And somebody said, that's crazy. Drive all the way to Miami to eat chicken. I said, yeah, but it was some good chicken. Pollo Tropical, which is fast food Cuban chicken, marinated for 48 hours in a citrus sauce. It is some more good. With some black beans and rice and some plantain. Of course, if it was here, I'd probably get tired of it. Have you ever been to Noon? Yes, I have, but it was before I started filming, and I want to go back. I've actually been a few times, all up and down the coast, and then I went back on the motorcycle, and there's some neat stuff up there. I remember something I want to go back. I think it's in Connecticut. Maybe not. Mystic Sea Village. It's like a 19th century fishing village. It was really cool. Hey, anybody that wants to pack some Pollo Tropical chicken and dry ice and send it to me, I won't complain a bit. That's okay. I'm just picking because I'm going in 2 weeks. Get me some. It's like anytime that I go to Florida, my wife knows where I'm going to eat. Just like any time that I go, I did not know that they film Mystic Pizza there. So now I know a filming location. But anytime we go to Pigeon Forge, I go to Huck Finn's Catfish. I love some fried catfish. And I know that when I get and go to some of the New England states, it's going to be hard because there is so much to film up there. There's a lot around Boston. I tell you, my wife and I, she had a business meeting like on a Tuesday. First mistake. You get a room before you go. And we flew in and got there on a Saturday. And oh, by the way, this was October. New Hampshire, all those little states up there just looking. And we said, well, it's getting late. We need to find somewhere to stay. And we started looking. Everything was full. And then we started calling on some of the national chains. Is there anything in the state of Vermont? Nothing. Is there anything in New Hampshire? Nothing. Anything in Maine? Nothing. We went all the way down to at 2 o'clock in the morning. We got to New Haven, Connecticut on a room. And the guy behind the desk said, are they out of that room yet? And I kind of scratching my head. It's 2 o'clock in the morning. And when they took us to the room, and there was a smoldering cigarette on the table beside the bed. And they're out. And I said, holy moly. So we took it, and there wasn't even a security lock. We had to put a chair up against the doorknob. And that was on Saturday night. But Sunday night and Monday night, I had a room. We called in advance. It was kind of scary. So when you're traveling, if you're traveling with somebody other than yourself and you can't sleep in the car, you better plan ahead. And as my wife says, my favorite thing to do is fly by the seat of my pants. But she don't want to be any part of that. So when she travels with me, you can bet we got a plan. Okay, well, hey, as I said before, y'all be sure to tell your family and friends if you've got any ideas of places you'd like me to go, anything you'd like to see me do, anything you'd like to see me change for any type of suggestion today. And until next time, y'all take care. Carolina Tony, out.